So I thought I'd weigh on this whole Jenna Marbles quitting YouTube and being canceled situation. Apparently, she wore blackface in 2011 for a Nicki Minaj video, and she is apparently under fire for that. And I'm black, so in case you just want to hear a black person's perspective, then yeah, you get that. Also, I've been meaning to talk about cancel culture in general on this channel for quite some time. So yeah, two birds, one stone. TLDR, if you're not aware of the situation, or you are, but you're kind of missing some of the information, Jenna Marbles, OG YouTuber, started creating videos up in 2010. She's amassed about 20 million subscribers. She released a video just the other day called A Message, which is basically a video where she talks about how she has been taking down and privatizing some of her more problematic videos that she made in the past, and like videos that wouldn't be I would say kosher for 2020, like that, dark, edgy humor, a little bit somewhat racist, rush hour vibes, from 2011. She's been privatizing it and taking it down. By the way, yeah, she apologizes for the blackface video. She talks about how she doesn't want to bring like negative energy into the world. She doesn't want to offend anybody. And then she announces that she will be departing from YouTube. Now look, okay, I'm gonna be objective here, okay? I'm not going to get overly sensitive about the issue, because right now it seems that this has been something that a lot of people are getting very, very emotional about with Jenna Marbles. You can clearly see on social media that people are just like distraught by this news. But I'm gonna stay objective, okay? I'm gonna stay level-headed. I don't stan Jenna Marbles, but I don't hate her either. So I'm gonna come at it, from just a neutral point of view, like always. I really think the message that we need to kind of take from these sequence of events is that the internet is vicious. Like it's brutal. Like cancel culture was originally a movement to kind of like remove people off the platforms, or all platforms who have too much power, who've been abusing it. Like they're presently garbage people, or in the past they've done like heinous crimes and they need to kind of like, have accountability. That was the original intent. Now cancel culture is a trend. It's trendy. Like it's a one size fits all baseball cap, and you could be wearing it. Okay, if you have any kind of clout or any kind of recognition on the internet, you could be canceled by cancel culture. It's just one of those things now that just apply to anyone and everyone, despite the gravity of the crime. People are starting to care less about who you are now and more about who you were before. That's been this ongoing trend for the past couple of years. My main issue with cancel culture isn't the fact that we're holding people accountable. I think it's healthy. I think it's good to just to be held accountable and be like, oh crap, this is where I was before, and this is why it's not good. This is where I am now, and this is why that change is necessary. I feel like it's healthy to have those discussions. I feel like it's good to reflect, to show the growth, so people can see that you can change, and here are the steps, and show kind of like a way where we do need change in this kind of environment that we're in right now. My main problem with cancel culture is that I feel like it's being weaponized. Okay, it's being used in a way to just savagely destroy people and this strong mob mentality. I don't feel like there's good intent from it. I feel like you take one hateful person who just shatter somebody, they want to just destroy somebody. Not going to happen. But if you take hundreds of the same type of spiteful, hateful people, put them all together in a bunch, and you've created a culture of people who can slash someone down, who can hurt somebody, who can take them down a peg. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with cancel culture, is that it's becoming a trend to just destroy people. You're at the mercy of like this mob, and you have to like answer to this culture. It's toxic. And it's scary. And I think it has an opposite effect. Like what's the point of becoming a better person and changing from your past behaviors if you're just going to be judged for who you were in the future? Like what's the point then? Like I said, I don't think cancel culture is completely wrong. I think some people kind of just get their hands caught in the cookie jar. Like there are some people presently right now who are misogynistic, who are racist, who are homophobic, and we just kind of now find out that it's happening, like behind closed doors. We're like, oh snap, they just got caught, and it's not even like it wasn't this mistake, or it was a whoopsie doopsie. It's just that's the reality of it, and we didn't know it was the reality until now. And now they kind of have to be accountable for their present actions. But with like Jenna Marbles is different. Like we all know, I think there's a general consensus that Jenna is not the problematic person that people were, I guess, apparently saying. I mean, in fact, no one's really saying it. I think it's the opposite. The entirety of the internet is like, hey, Jenna Marbles is off limits. She's been changing, and she's not that person, and it shows in her content. So like, obviously, this kind of energy that has been created for cancel culture for people who are just really bad people or terrible people should not be shared over to Jenna Marbles. My guess is the fear of being canceled is kind of what drove Jenna to making that video. But I also kind of find it weird that you would just kind of like respond to, you know, such accusations. You respond to such energy with like, hey, I'm just going to leave, you know, YouTube forever. Sorry, I'm out. I find that a little bit weird. Like, I feel like that's like a quick 0 to 100, you know, like, hear me out. I think the whole point of these things is just to address it, you know, like, there's a huge movement going on with the Black Lives Matter. There's a huge elephant in the room. It's healthy to have that discussion and be like, yo, what I did was bad and it was wrong and I don't support it. And I'm sorry that I offended you. And this is where I stand. And this is the winner energy that I'm with and that what I'm about. And I have a history and progress showing all these things. That's the whole point, holding someone accountable kind of thing. And I think that's kind of where she could have went with it. So the fact that she kind of just dipped from the internet as a response was, I feel, a little extreme. So that's why there's like two things that really just don't sit well with me. The first one was like the initial reaction, okay, that caused Jenna to make the video in the first place. I didn't see it. I'm not saying it didn't exist, but like I've seen people get canceled on the internet. I've seen the locked Twitter accounts, okay? I've seen people literally run off the face of the internet from being canceled. And I did not see any trends or hashtags when it came to Jenna, when it came to like her videos and being taken down in blackface. So I didn't even think it was a big deal in the first place. So I'm not saying that it's not a big deal, but I didn't see that energy to massively just destroy her and cancel her. But then again, she has 20 million subscribers and she has a huge viewer base. So maybe there is enough of that percentage, of a small percentage, that people are going to find her and hate her for who she is and for what she was. And so again, didn't see it, could be there, but yeah. And the other thing that's weird, which I just said before, is just kind of just straight up dipping from the internet. Be like, hey guys, yeah, I was bad. Sorry, I'm out. Like, like it's like, dude, like, you can't let like that percentage. It doesn't matter who you are. You could be Gandhi, you could be Santa Claus, you could be the money man. Okay, you can be the guy that if you meet the money man, if you make eye contact with the money man deposits money into your bank account. Okay, you can be that guy, and people will hate you. So like you can't really avoid that. So some people think that Jenna's departure from YouTube was a PR move. Which, if it was a PR move, it was an amazing PR move. I'm not saying that it was, but if that was the intent, then yeah, having the entire internet, you know, write a narrative for you that cancel culture is toxic and destructive and is the reason why, you know, Jenna Marbles quit YouTube, would work out in your favor. It does put her in the light of a victim, which I'm not saying that she is or isn't in this situation. But again, if this was the intent, then it is a good PR move. But I don't think that's what Jenna did. Okay, I don't really sense any of that energy. She doesn't exude any kind of like Logan Paul energy from me. Like, so I don't feel like that's the case, and I don't think people should be trying to attack her for what's happening. I think what's truly the case is that she was scared. I think, in my opinion, again, when it comes to just this mob mentality and the savage of the internet, we've seen people get, you know, their entire lives and futures and get dissected and destroyed over this information. It's kind of scary, especially when you're on the path of trying to change and be better from your past self, and when you are trying to bring good energy into the world, when you have reflected on yourself and you have changed, and now people are going to start, you know, judging you for who you used to be. You know, current fans are going to start looking at you in different lights. You're going to be offending people when you're in that zone where you don't want to offend anybody anymore. And there's this uncertainty of being a celebrity on the internet and being attacked suddenly for something that happened in the past. It's been happening to people over and over and weaponized over and over and over again. And so I'm guessing a lot of this has to do with just fear, being scared. And to be honest, when I look at Jenna, like when she makes the video and if you watch it, she's harmless. And it seems like the thing that hurts her the most is that she's hurting other people. Like the thing that hurts her the most is that she's hurting other people and she doesn't want to cause harm. And that's the part that kind of like doesn't sit well with me, because again, you can clearly see not a problematic person. There's so many people right now that we could be diverting our anger towards, diverting our frustration towards. If you want to be hateful and spiteful towards someone, I'm telling you, there's some movements out there. Go hate the police or something, or go hate racist people. Go put your hate towards that, but like towards little Jenna Marbles who's making videos about, eating food and kind of just chilling and enjoying life. And I'm not about that life. I kind of know where she's coming from too. I used to be, a little bit problematic myself. Like not like I wasn't like blackfacing or anything like that. But I used to, we had this mentality back in the day where, be edgy, stand your ground, say what you want to say, don't apologize, listen to Eminem all the day, and screw the world kind of thing. And during that process, I realized like it's good for, surviving on the internet. Obviously, there's got to be a little bit of energy taken from that, but also you can quickly and easily offend a lot of people by just being who you think is, right, or being who you think is you, without taking anyone's feelings into consideration. And I've kind of been adjusting from that. And the past 2 years, I've been trying to work on that. So a fear of mine would be that I'm somehow being painted as the person that I used to be, where I wasn't my best. And then I start, losing that good energy that I can relate. I feel like Jenna is basically an example of kind of what we need in the world right now. Like people who are changing or have changed or showing that growth and showing that change. Like during a time where things do need to change and perspectives need to start kind of swamping in, and I'd say generations of traditions and ways that people think have just been kind of passed down, in a way where it's just normal. It needs to stop being normalized. And she kind of like, exemplifies what that kind of person would be. So I think we need more Jenna Marbles out there. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. As a black dude, seeing a white person doing, blackface, like, I don't know why white people do, blackface in the first place. I don't know why white people do a lot of things that they do, but like, I can't be angry, or I can't be when just, 3 weeks ago, a black person was just straight up murdered on the streets in front of like, dozens of people like that. I can't be worried about Jenna Marbles right now. And it's not something that hits me. And I guess also as a black person, I feel like I'm becoming like a little bit, what's the word? I feel like I'm becoming desensitized from like racism. Like growing up, there's been all of these little things that's been happening, which are all important. Like they all build up to one kind of thing. But now that there's been so much now where when I see it, I'm just like, okay, that's another day, another dollar, no change. But still with Jenna, I see that as someone who just lived in a point in time, did some dumb stuff, and she recorded it, which is a big oops right there, but I'm pretty sure if we recorded some of the things that we did back in 2010, 2011, we'd probably have some stuff, things that we would cancel ourselves for. I don't think, like I've done anything like that, but there could be something in the past. You know what? Let's not even talk about it, okay? Because then people are gonna start digging, and I'm gonna cancel myself. I'm gonna jinx myself. So let's not even do it. Again, this whole cancel culture thing, I feel like it's vicious. I feel like the intent of cancel culture has turned into something that is straight up evil. Like there is weaponizing it to actually justifiably take down really, really bad people. And then there is hurting people for the sake of hurting people. Just because if you gather enough people with hateful intentions, you can create that energy and you can create that effect. And I think that's the biggest problem with cancel culture, is now that it's capable of targeting everyone, and everyone should be held accountable, but not everyone should be attacked, especially not at that level. The internet loves to rip people apart. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's disgusting. I don't know what the solution is. I honestly don't. Now, I'm not going to forgive Jenna Marbles on behalf of the black community. Like I'm not like the sole representative of the black delegation, but I don't want Jenna Marbles to leave YouTube. I think she's good peoples. I think she made a mistake a long time ago. I honestly just do not care. It's I don't have the energy to put into that, and I don't think anyone should be. And I think that's the message that is actually coming across. Like I think it's kind of weird how this whole agenda is being pushed, that like cancel culture is making Jenna Marbles quit YouTube. And, everyone tweets that, right? Like, hey, stupid cancel culture. Jenna Marbles is leaving YouTube, and everyone's problematic except for her. And it's like, That's not like everyone is retweeting and saying the same thing. Like that's not. I don't think that's actually the narrative. I do think that Jenna reacted pretty, harshly and extremely by just dipping. And I do think by her just talking about it, addressing it, apologizing, saying that's not who she is, and moving forward would have been equally as healthy. But at the same time, I've never been under that same kind of stress and pressure that she's went through. So I can't hold someone accountable for wanting to leave because they don't want to hurt other people based on what they've done in the past. I don't know how I would react if I was in that situation. However, I do hope that the current me is a reflection of who I am now. So like if I ever do get canceled, look, if someone ever comes at me, bro, just know from 10 years ago that it's something I said. I need y'all to be like, I need y'all to hit me up like Jenna Marbles. I need y'all to support me like Jenna Marbles. Just getting her support. Like, I need y'all to be like, Omni is not a problematic person. He's a good dude. I don't know about you guys. I sometimes think about this. When these things happen, I sometimes reflect and think about my own past. And I think like, is there anything truly that I did, 10 years ago that will get me canceled? And I don't think having that kind of mindset means that you are a problematic person in the first place. I think different times, different environment, but taking that different times and different environment and applying to here based on what you did can create some conflict. I'm not saying anything heinous. I'm like, oh, did I murder somebody like 10 years ago? Like nothing like that. But I mean, you murdered someone 10 years ago and you're like reflecting like, oh yeah, but that was 10 years ago. It's, I'm over it now. I'm changed. Like, nah, dog, you murdered somebody. If you did some heinous stuff 10 years ago and you reflecting on it, then yeah, your ass hasn't got caught yet, but that was terrible. But like I'm thinking about like if I made a terrible Facebook post or if I said something insensitive one time or something like that, which I'm sure we all have done. So it's okay to reflect on that, but yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about the whole Jenna Marbles situation. I think it's being blown out of proportion again because it's the internet. I think a lot of it is just being blown out of proportion. I think Jenna leaving, that was extreme. I think people responding to her leaving by attacking cancel culture and everyone, 99% of the people are literally saying the same thing that, like Jenna Marbles shouldn't go. And so I don't think anyone is literally pushing the narrative that Jenna needs to lose all source of funding. She needs to be taken off YouTube. She needs to be demonetized and she needs to live homeless or be executed. I do not think that is the message. So that means we are in a step in the right direction. I do feel like cancel culture started at this point where it was kind of like we're weaponizing and attacking, bad people. Then we're attacking everyone. But now I also feel like we're kind of getting to a point where we're being a little bit more logical and be like, okay, but really, is this person really, really worthy of being canceled? There's an evolution to it. I know it's kind of a popular thing to say that cancel culture is toxic and it needs to go. I feel I'm kind of like in the middle of it. I think there are aspects of it that are very toxic, and I think there are other aspects of it that's necessary to remove very, very corrupt people from places of power that without it, we wouldn't be able to target. There is good and evil. And we can use it for good and we can use it for evil. As long as you can use something for good, you can use it for evil. You can use a gun to protect somebody, and you can use a gun to murder somebody. And it's a catch-22. It's kind of hard to kind of say, but I don't feel like it just needs to be completely abolished. I just think we need to be smarter as humans. But again, asking humans to be smarter with something that is a mob mentality that requires you to not be smart in the first place and kind of just be sheep is asking too much. So that's why I say I don't know what to do. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. I hope Jenna comes back to YouTube. I think this whole thing will blow over. If she comes back, she'll come back with open arms. And it'll be good energy and good vibes again. And yeah, hopefully we can continue focusing our energy and efforts and hate on the people who actually deserve it. All right, cool. All right, thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later. Peace.